Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on the eSports Report. We just spent the show today breaking down Curse and their struggles so far in Season 3, but we're not done yet with the Call of Duty breakdowns. Next, we're going to be taking a look at Faze Apathy and kind of why he's been successful so far in Call of Duty Ghosts, especially up against evil geniuses. Many people feel that EG is the titan in competitive Call of Duty. They have been amazing at in events in the last year and a half. But the man today we're going to be looking at is Apathy. You can see him on the screen there, rocking that Strictly Business jacket. He used to be on Strictly Business back at US Champs, and he also played with them at COD Champs. Now, Apathy did what few people have done and beat EG out in the finals there back when they played under the name Complexity. He was teaming there with Dedo, Censor, and Saints. That squad, definitely a very solid lineup. They wound up placing first at US Champs and fourth at Call of Duty Champs. Now, Apathy played well himself. He didn't play as well as he played on TK against EG, but he still put up some good stats. Before we get into that, let's take a look at a little breakdown highlight video of Apathy at the US Champs.
Is going to be Apathy, so smart, spotting the players, doesn't shoot through that crack, gets the double.
Against his Apathy, could get a lot.
Nice.
And he does, gets the ace.
SB playing out of their minds. And we can see another play here by Apathy behind enemy lines. Apathy trying to play some defense now as Cole. And here we go, Siege is locked down by Apathy. More kills going down outside shop. Right now, Apathy trying to move his way across the middle of the map. They are winning game number 4 here.
Two players down there. He's going to go for it. That's one. Can he find the second as well?
Ake's the last man standing here for Cole. Just saw Apathy, or did he? Might have heard it. Does he see the kill? He does, but Apathy outsmarts him. He goes from an ace to 3 kills and back-to-back rounds, and you know that is a momentum changer.
Strictly Business.
The comeback from Strictly Business, and the crowd is erupting here in the Full Tilt venue.
Holy mother of God, is this the event for upsets or what, Puckett?
Now you can see their Apathy in the squad getting hyped as they were able to take down EG at US Champs not once, but twice. In their first series up against EG, or Complexity at the time, they won 3-0. And then in the finals, they wound up winning in 5 games. A huge momentum and confidence boost there for Strictly Business as they went on to perform well at Call of Duty Champs as well. But let's take a quick look at Apathy's stats individually up against EG in those series there. As you can see, only a 0.98 KD ratio, so nothing extreme. He had an average of 5.67 dom caps per game, though, always rotating back, capping the home flag, capping the flags they need. Then in Blitz, 4.0 caps in their Blitz games, as well as a 22.40 KD, or kills per respawn. Definitely solid in that category as well. But the big thing for Apathy was his 1.24 KD in S&D. He is not known for his S&D stats, but he definitely performed well in that series up against Complexity at the time. His best maps in the tournament, if you're asking, against EG, Freight Blitz in Series 1, when he went 25-21 with 6 caps. And in Series 2, he wound up going 28-27 in the first game, which was Strike Zone Domination, with 6 caps to lead his team. So, Strictly Business winds up knocking out EG there. They wind up performing well as a squad, with Apathy really being a big part of things. But what I want to look into is after he left Strictly Business, he went on over to Team Kaliber. Now that squad was with Apathy. They went to the X Games together, and they wound up performing very well at the X Games, shocking many people, getting all the way to the finals, only losing to Optic Gaming in the championship match. They wound up taking home the silver medal, but the big thing from that weekend was their amazing domination gameplay. But before that, they wound up having to face EG in their bracket matchup, and they wound up taking them out. Guys, let's go into another quick little highlight reel of Apathy from the X Games.
And Apathy, someone right there in fire, finally does see it, picks up the kill. That's going to be karma.
Apathy hanging back here, trying to pick up a kill. That's going to be 4 down, rather, for the EG squad.
The EG have no control of their own base.
Wow.
Apathy's going to make it 3.
This
We've only
huge.
played 40 seconds of this game.
He's going to try to get in. I think he's got
6
this
out.
one in. He's going to slide in.
Oh
It does
my
get
God.
it. TK up 6-0.
Gotta watch out for Apathy. He's a beast, so that's what we're looking at.
138 to 98. Apathy trying to apply the pressure.
Stop this, Cap. Got all the players running in front of him. There's one. There's 2. Can he get it?
Oh!
Apathy with a huge 3-piece on the A flag. He's going to go ahead and secure it.
Shout out to TK and all the people supporting Team Kaliber back at home and watching here.
You could hear Fwiz there shouting out Team Kaliber as they were able to take down Evil Geniuses there at the X Games. A huge win there as EG wound up taking home the bronze medal, with TK taking home the silver medal. But in their first matchup, when Apathy was on Strictly Business, he wound up playing less of a role, only with a .98 KD. Now let's take a look at his stats up against EG at the X Games. His stats were much better here, as he wound up dropping a 1.27 KD ratio in their games up against EG, also averaging 3.50 Dom caps per game, and even in their Blitz game, getting 7 caps, a big reason why they were able to take that. Then in the respawns, 27.67 kills per respawn. You don't do that very easily up against the Evil Geniuses squad, especially on LAN. And finally, struggling a little bit in S&D, but Apathy not known for his S&D gameplay, only sitting at a .86 KD there. So, TK wound up taking that home there, and they got second place, a big win for EG as Apathy continues to play solid up against that squad. But things weren't perfect for him, as after MLG Anaheim, he wound up dropping from TK and going over to Faze. Now sitting on the Faze lineup, we're going to see them play this weekend at G3. Here we can take a look at their roster. We see Censor and Dedo, originally a part of Faze Black, now just a part of Faze, as Faze as an organization wound up dropping the Faze Red team after they didn't perform well at MLG Anaheim. Then we see Apathy coming over from TK and Parasite coming over from Envy, forming this new Faze lineup. What's great is we're going to get to see them play here at MLG.TV/Gfinity this weekend at the big G3 tournament out in London. But so far as a squad in Season 3, they've been doing okay. I think that's the best way to describe it, sitting at 5-3, only winning 16 of their 30 maps so far. Then they played at AEL Dallas this past weekend, and they wound up placing 3rd, losing to the likes of Curse as well as Team Kaliber. Definitely some things they need to work on as a squad, but they're still new together. So they definitely have a lot of potential. Many people feel they could be a top 3 team in Call of Duty if they work on their craft. So we're going to see them this weekend at Gfinity. They're going to be facing up against Optic Nation and TCM Gaming in their pool. Definitely the toughest pool in my eyes this weekend in just overall sheer skill. All 3 of those teams could come out on top, so it'll be interesting to see who can win there. As you can see, TCM Gaming, the great performance at MLG Anaheim, Faze, a newer squad, but they are ready to prove themselves. They are hungry. I see them coming out of this group. And finally, Optic Nation, the squad who had the poor X Games performance, but bounced back at MLG Anaheim, winning the open bracket and taking home $3,000. That squad is definitely looking strong as well, so it'll be interesting to see who can come out on top there. I do wish all 3 of those teams the best of luck, but really it's just a toss-up to see who shows up on Saturday at Gfinity. So, I got some questions to ask you guys, the viewers, as well as YouTube. Post in the comments. I'll be sure to read all of them. Tweet at me, at AYY_courage. I'll share some of my favorites next week when we're still hosting the show. Do you think Apathy's a difference maker? Do you think he's a reason why these squads have been successful up against EG? Was he better on Strictly Business? Was he better on TK? Or do you think he'll be better on Faze? Let me know, guys. Or why do you think he was able to beat the #1 team not once but twice? What do you think his secret is? What do you think his squad secret is? Be sure to share those with me, as you can see my Twitter right there, at AYY_courage. So, that's our breakdown of Apathy, guys. Faze has been looking strong so far. Definitely not playing to their full potential, but we'll see how they do this weekend at Gfinity. Now, that's some great Call of Duty action, but let's take a look at where things stand in the COD leagues right now. We took a look earlier in the show, as we can see Rise Nation up at 6-1 in first place in the league. Optic Gaming at 5-2. They wound up getting that free win from Elevate, as Elevate, I don't even know if they have a squad anymore. They're sitting down there at 0-8, definitely struggling and definitely doing the weakest so far. Radius Gaming, the new squad picked up by Blevdog, who got that spot from Faze Red, sitting at 2-6. They've had some roster changes themselves, but it looks like they have a roster locked down now. Curse 2-6. I definitely expect to see them bounce up. Justice only 3-5, and many talented teams sitting at 5-3. So that's where the league stands now. We only had one night of matches this week, and we barely had all the matches played there, as only 3 of the 6 matches even happened. But the COD League kicks back into full swing next week with matches starting on Wednesday, August 6th again. Let's take a look at that night of matches. Guys, I'll be honest here. I think that this is one of the best nights of COD League matches we've seen so far in Season 3. We have Radius versus EG kicking the night off at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then, Optic Gaming versus Optic Nation, our first brother team matchup of the season. Definitely our key match of the night. I know we're going to see tens of thousands of people watching that matchup. Many people are hyped already, and we're still a few days away. And finally, in that last 7 p.m. spot is Rise versus Denial, another massive matchup between two great domination teams. We'll see who can get the best there. Finally, at 8:30, we end the night with Optic Gaming versus Radius, Rise versus Optic Nation, a rematch of the open bracket finals at MLG Anaheim, and finally, Denial versus EG. Another amazing match there to see if EG can wind up bouncing back after their slow start so far, especially with Aches now going to be under his penalty for some of his recent actions. So, guys, we covered Curse. We covered Apathy and his amazing play up against EG. It's been another great show, guys. Thanks so much for being such a great audience. The chat has been cracking me up today. People are hyped about Gfinity. This weekend, MLG.TV/Gfinity, the best North American teams up against the best European teams. You will not want to miss that. Guys, once again, this has been Jack Dunlop, a.k.a. Courage. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.